So, you know that feeling. You wake up one day and you think, alright, starting tomorrow, I'm finally going to build better habits. Maybe it's about going to the gym, maybe it's reading, or maybe it's like learning something new. And for the first few days, you actually do it. But then, it all just falls apart. Yeah, I've been there, like, way too many times. So I used to think it was because I wasn't disciplined enough. But a while ago, I realized something that changed everything. My name is Wen Tao, and in this video, I'm going to break down why most people struggle to stick to habits and how I finally got mine to actually last. Let's get into it. Let's start with why most people fail. So for years, I thought I just needed more motivation. So I did all the usual stuff like watching motivational videos, made perfect plans, or download like productivity apps. And yet I felt super pumped for about like a week. And then I'd quit again. So eventually I realized something important. It's not about the motivational problem. It's a system problem. So there's a concept in psychology called ego depletion. So basically your brain is only having so much willpower every day. And by the time you're done with your work, emails, and social media, you're already done. Like you're already drained. And that's why relying on motivation never works long term. What finally helped me to stick to habits wasn't more motivation. It was building simple systems that don't really rely on willpower. Let me show you exactly what I changed. So the first thing I did was that I stopped trying to go big. Then I started stupid small. Let me give you an example. So when I first came to Canada, I wanted to rebuild my routines from scratch. And one of the first thing I told myself was, alright, let's meditate for 30 minutes a day. Well, that didn't last long because it felt like a chore, so I changed the rule. Okay, how about just 8 minutes? That's all. That's all I gotta do. And I used an app called Insight Timer. I hit start and I sit down, done. And what's funny is that once I start, I often keep going. But even if I don't, 8 minutes is still a win. So the point here is when starting feels easy, your brain just don't resist. And once you start, momentum usually just take care of the rest. The next thing I did was that I made my habits automatic. The problem isn't doing the habit, it's about deciding when to do it. The mental back and forth, it'll drain you. So I started tying habits to things I already do. For example, when I get a new idea, I immediately drop it into my journal app. And after I finish my coffee, I just rinse everything and put it away. Or when I get an invite for an event like photoshoot gig, I stopped everything and I just add it to my calendar. Or like at 11 p.m, my phone just goes to do not disturb. It's like an automatic things, unless, well, I'm texting someone important. Then the next thing you know, some habits just get overwritten like automatically. But so basically the trick is called implementation intention. But really it's just about removing the need to decide. So you're not forcing it, you're just following a script. Next, I changed the space around me because I realized that it's not about just the self-control, it's also about the design. So I made some small changes like I put dumbbells right next to my desk, so whenever I'm free, I can just grab them. So there's no excuse. Or on my phone home screen, I only keep the good apps like my budgeting app, Notion, journaling, or quick notes. So now whenever I open my phone, I see stuff that supports my goals, not the stuff that actually drains me. Because if YouTube or Instagram were on my home screen, then you probably wouldn't be seeing this video right now, because I'd be scrolling somewhere. So guys, the takeaway here is make your environment do the heavy lifting for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. So the last mindset shift was about identity. Instead of saying, I want to read more, or like, I want to be more productive, I simply just started saying, I'm the kind of person who reads, or I'm the kind of person who follows through. I'm the kind of person who stays organized. This is straight from the book Atomic Habits, and it works. Because when something becomes part of your identity, you stop negotiating with yourself. You're just acting like the person you believe you are. And honestly, it feels way less stressful. It's actually how I quit smoking as well. Alright, before we wrap this up, here's a quick recap. Start smaller, tie it to your routines. Set up your space so it helps you, not fights you. And instead of chasing goals, focus on being the type of person who does the thing. because that's what changed again. Guys, if this helped, hit like, maybe subscribe, because I got a lot more videos like this coming soon, like systems and real self-improvements. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.